Hello guys and welcome to another video. This one is going to be another Nyx video, the continuation to the first one, the Nyx overview. This one is going to go into raid mechanics and how I raid as Nyx. So the specs I like to use to raid, I'll try as Seeker now just to show you without any type of spec stats. But the main spec I love to use as a Nyx was Raider. Raider is so strong. Assassin is also really nice and Charmer is also really nice. So it's all dependent on what you're trying to do. So I'll do it with basic to show you that with any of those three specs, you're going to be doing a lot better than I do right now. As you can see, the gear is nothing special. The only special item I have is the Mighty Tempest here, and it is particularly good for Fey Yeti because it has stun on it and it also has windswept. So it's one that will reduce critical rate and it can also stun the Fey Yeti. Oh dear, this motherfucker about to kill me already. So yes, this guy is very difficult, as you guys can see. So I actually need to start hitting him soon or I will die. And I will use a Berserk Mushroom because they're pretty easy for me to get. But you would be using the mushroom from the Raider spec. And as you can see, we finally stunned him, we windswept him, we also put his defense down, and we put his magic down. Does he use magic? I think he does, you know. I don't remember. But the important thing is to get his... Oh, I didn't put in Omni Strike for some strange reason. But Omni Strike is also essential here. You're going to want to not have an element on your weapon, otherwise he's going to resist it. I have an element on my weapon, unfortunately, so that's why you're seeing that he is taking just a little bit less damage. And I should also use Wyvern Speed for the dexterity up, as well as an attack tonic, or you can use Warcry, but I really don't have the adornment slots for such things at the moment. Awesome, finally stunned him again. So I use a little bit of action rate, which you can get from bestial potions in, and I also have a assassin's jewel. As you can see, that is also proccing. So I'm just trying to get as much bonuses as I can while still being able to dish out a little bit of damage. And this is the worst, like this is the absolute worst, because he's resisting. I'm on Seeker specialization, which is trash for this. And you can see that I can still do a little bit of damage. Nothing special, but I can do consistent damage and I can stay alive. Because Nyx's passive, which I explained in the last episode, has the ability to give you HP randomly, as well as Osmo Strikes gives you HP on every hit based on a percentage. So at the moment you pretty much just spam Osmo Strikes after you've lowered his stats. So ideally I would have his attack lowered as well, so that he would be doing just about 20% less damage. And I have his magic lowered, so he's doing just a little bit less damage with magic too. Element on gear would also be really good here, so you would be able to resist a lot of his magic. So getting basic gear with elements on them, if you don't have proper gear anyway, isn't a bad idea, because it still gives you a bit of defense that you wouldn't have normally. And as you can see, like, it will take you a while. Don't expect to be doing this like in the snap of a finger, but you can see that you are capable of doing it. and you can sustain the damage that you're taking quite easily. As you see, I'm not really having any problems keeping my HP up. As he takes damage, his stats scale, so he becomes stronger. So you'll notice that I will be doing less damage and he will be hitting harder. So now I'm going to switch to the specialization that I love, and I will also be putting in the correct skill this time. Not Osmo Strikes, Omni. And it will be lowering some stats. If you are level 210 or more, you have unlocked Omni Strikes. So that's a good one. I bring X Slash because it gives bleeding, and bleeding is really good to further reduce the critical chance of the boss. So I would say, like as I said, Assassin is awesome for the Conal build that I was using. I wasn't really using that build because I didn't use Lucano even once. But I would say Charmer is another really good one. Let me see. Oh, you get Warriors per vein at 210. So Charmer would be at 210 switch. But prior to that, Raider or Assassin, really good. Especially if you're fighting stuff that do ward. But World Raid bosses don't do ward. So this would probably be nicer in PvP. But either one is really good. I'm going to check out Raider, and you can see Raider gives a little bit of stats, but it also takes a bit of your HP. So you have to keep that in mind, because not only will you be taking damage from the Berserk, you'll also have 20% less HP to work with. Alright, so I cannot see much now that I have taken off Seeker. But I should be able to... Okay, yes, I do have Farsights. Awesome. And I also have my Keep. Okay, that's my Citadel. And I believe that's as much as I can get. And you will notice that this class does not have a view distance passive, so you're not going to see the most things unless you do your independent buffing of your view distance. I'm also going to check out some dungeon raiding as Nyx, but that might have to be in another video since this one might get a little bit long with just raiding. So with Raider spec, I'm also going to be putting in the Raider, what do I call it now? The buff Berserk 3. I do not need Fortify. So that's where Berserk 3 will go. I would actually... Alright, I won't mess with the structure of it. That should be fine. Shouldn't I be seeing more? I just feel like I have less view distance than I had with Seeker, but I've put on 2 things, which means I should have 20% more. Alright, let's try a Naganine. And I would put on my defensive buffs first because I don't have that much ward anyway. And I hope he doesn't kill me. So let us see if he will or not. I should possibly remove the Lucano thing because I'm not using it. So I could technically have a Fallen Shield, which would be the best in slot. Or I could have just any shield. Another good shield is the Mimic. I'm talking about Mimic. The Griffin Shield. That's a nice one. So, and if you have stuff that increase your critical chance, it won't work with the strikes, but it will work with the strike. So this one, oh shit, this motherfucker is immune to lightning. Yeah, I just remembered that. So I need to take the element off of my Weapon, I keep forgetting that. Or I need, no, I don't think I have elementless actually. Okay, good. I'm seeing a few more bosses now. Yeah, just literally like 2 more. Sad. Okay, sweet. So now we can do another Fayeti properly. That's the same one. Here's another one over here. Hello, good sir. Oh dear. Alright. So Berserk. And you're gonna see the difference in... Oh dear. Alright then. Sad face. Alright, guys, just call me a noob in the comment section below and forget that even happened. I'm going to use something better. I would use this if it didn't take away my attack stat, but I already have so little attack that it's kind of difficult. But the defensive stat is pretty decent, so I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I'll just use something that everyone would have, and that would be the Griffin Crested Shield. There. And this way I can use a bit of ward first and not have to worry. It's not going to be the most because, as you know, ward is a multiplier. So if you have very little ward, 10% of 20,000 ward is 2,000 wards. So it's still going to be trash. It just won't be as trash as nothing. Now we're talking. Now we're getting a little bit tanky. Yeah, your friend was saying something to me earlier. But as you can see, I take a lot of damage. So this is where we're going to consistently be using Osmo Strikes. So I want the dexterity up from this because that will let me hit just a little bit more often. And I want attack up from Attack Tonic. And I think that should be it, other than Berserk Mushroom. So I'm going to now proceed to lowering this thing's stats and hope I heal sometimes. So I've lowered his defense. I can now hit a little bit more. I've lowered its magic and its attack. I do not need to lower its resistance. Then again, I think my pet does some magic, so it won't be the worst. And with the Fayeti horns, your potions do just a little bit more. So you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Alright, I've lowered everything. I can use some horizontal slashes to get some ward turns ever so often, and I can use Osmo Strikes to get back my HP when it gets low. And I just rotate between them. I could also try it on Apollyon. I just remembered that raid boss, not world raid boss. So as you can see, he's having a tough time hitting me, even without DC up. So that's all you really want. You want to be as tanky as possible, and you can just dish out damage without having to worry too much. And as long as you're using a skill to upkeep your ward, you'll have your ward as backup as well. And you'll realize that I'm doing a lot more damage than I was when I was using just Seeker specialization. So, and I'm not even using a Berserk Mushroom, which I'm going to throw in and see just how much more damage I am taking and if I am able to sustain it, which it would seem like I am. And it gave me just a bit more damage boost as well. One of my favorite places to use Raider spec is in dungeons. Because in dungeons, it's just a smooth ride with it. Like, things cannot hit you for the life of them. I didn't use 2 mushrooms though. I didn't use Berserk Mushroom when I did that. I just used Raider Specialization. Alright, so he's charging up his fireball, and I do not want to take that head on, so I will ensure that I have my ward up just in case. And the dangerous part with going too close to low HP before using Osmo Strikes would be that you can miss and then the Berserk will kill you, because there's no way for you to protect against it. But you can see that it is stable, especially when I actually proc the defense down. I do even more damage. And if you're looking for an easy way to raid, as tier 9, I would say Nyx is the class for you, because it is just chill. As you can see, I enjoy having the Phoenix, but it isn't necessary. So you could be using your golem, and that way you could consistently be dishing out Osmo Strikes without having to worry about ward turns. When the thing starts to hit you, you can use X-Slash to bleed it, and that will make it so that along with Windswept, it has just a little bit less chance to hit you. But you can see that you can last a while in here. It seems like I might actually even be able to kill this thing. So I would say if you're able to do this, if you're able to kill tier 8 and tier 7 world raid bosses consistently, you are not going to be in tier 9 for long. So you can bust out of tier 9 with this class, because it does everything that you're trying to do pretty well, in my opinion. Because the tier 9 classes are not the strongest, so you shouldn't be expecting the world of them, but they can do stuff. And if you have good gear, you will be running through this stuff. Like, it will not even be a challenge. As you saw earlier, my gear is absolute dog shit. Like, a dog shat my gear out. I took it out of the shit. I washed it off, of course, before I put it on. I washed it off. But it's still, like, that doesn't make it not dog shit. It's just that it's now clean dog shit, and it's kind of shiny, but it could be a lot better. Like, it couldn't be like not dog shit. And you can see that I am going to kill this thing, so I think that's not so bad. That's not so bad at all. I will show you guys the stats I have on the raiding build, and I'm very satisfied with how this has turned out. I will show you the experience I got from doing 50% to this, and I will encourage you guys to start doing your 50% to your world raid bosses and trading them, so you will get. And that took me 8 minutes, so it takes a little time, yes, but that is going to be what happens. Like, oh dear, okay, there it is. Oh shit, I got a legendary Azure Pinion, nice. And I got 230 million experience by myself just doing that, so that was not bad at all. I appreciate it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, this was more of an example video. I would love them. So if you're fighting something like Ceros, you're going to need to go Assassin, because he is going to use his stances, which can be countered with the ability Assassin has to give you a triple defense down, as well as the additional chance you get to inflict whatever other status infliction you have on your person. So if you're using like arcane jewels in your weapon, you can proc all of the status ailments. If you're using assassin's jewel, you can proc the defense down, the single defense down and the double defense down just a little bit easier. So assassin makes it so that you can proc stuff just a bit easier. But yeah, I almost want to do another boss, but I would say as tier 9, just focus on killing the tier 7 and tier 8 stuff, and you can even help people kill their stuff, and that will be a lot of XP. If you want me to use Nyx to kill a specific world raid boss, you can leave it in the comments below. The next video will be on Nyx dungeoning. So I'm gonna show you guys that, and that might conclude the series unless you guys want to see something like Nyx PvP. You guys have to tell me what you want to see Nyx doing, and then I can tell you that yes. And actually I think my Nyx passive isn't full at the moment. Let me see. How do I check it? So that's the confusing part about this class sometimes. Like I don't know how to check if my passive is full or not. But maybe that is a discussion for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Whoever watched to the end, I will give you guys the choice at a free world raid boss for your loyalty and for your dedication to this video. So the first 5 persons to comment will get a tier 9 world raid boss of their choice if I have it. Actually, I think I'll just offer you guys something good like a Fey Yeti or a Ceros, because I kind of need my Naganines for the mushrooms, and I don't think anybody wants Arisen Phoenix, but everybody always wants Ceros and everybody always wants Fey Yetis. So the first 5 persons will have a choice between Fey Yeti or Ferocious Ceros. So thank you guys for watching and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.